Hi is back on Drama CD, where rumors, imagination, and fragments of reality collide in a story that makes fandom's hearts race. Today, we're not just talking about ordinary gossip, but rather a modern legend that lives on in whispers. A story about Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, two names that fans can't seem to separate. Get ready, because what we're about to discuss is more than just what meets the eye. Ever since The Untamed changed the landscape of Asian and global fandom, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's relationship has been under intense scrutiny. Every glance, every smile, and every silent pause between them is analyzed with emotion. This is where rumors are born, not from one major event, but from thousands of tiny details that feel too synchronized to ignore. For some, it's mere coincidence. For others, it's the unspoken language of love. The rumor of their marriage didn't emerge overnight. It grew slowly, nurtured by fan theories, clippings of old interviews, and moments perceived as secret signals. Some call it a symbolic wedding, while others insist that a private ceremony actually took place away from the spotlight. But like all great legends, truth and imagination are closely intertwined. Many fans point to a quiet period in their careers as the beginning, when their schedules suddenly seemed to align and both sides avoided discussing personal matters. Speculation flared. Their silence was considered louder than 1,000 clarifications. In the entertainment world, silence often gives rise to the loudest stories. Then there are theories about secret signals, understood only by them and their most devoted fans. From recurring clothing color choices, similar accessories, to cryptic remarks on social media. No one has explicitly confirmed anything, but the patterns feel too consistent to ignore. This is where the fandom's imagination runs wild. Some stories go even further, discussing a small ceremony supposedly attended by only a handful of trusted individuals. The location is said to be remote, simple, and full of personal significance. Of course, no concrete proof has ever emerged publicly. But it is precisely this lack of proof that makes the story feel all the more mysterious. On the other hand, some fans see this marriage as an emotional and professional bond, not a literal one. An unspoken promise to support, protect, and respect each other's journeys. In this view, their relationship transcends conventional definitions of love. It symbolizes trust and a soul connection. The pressures of the entertainment industry are also often cited as the reason why this story never saw the light of day. A world that demands a perfect image and a controlled private life means many things must be kept under wraps. If there's something special, hiding it may be the only way to survive. For fans, this thinking feels both plausible and heartbreaking. Every time one of them achieves a major achievement, the other's name almost always comes up in the conversation. A brief remark, a glance at an award show, or a small reaction caught on camera fuels old rumors. It's as if an invisible thread continues to connect them, no matter how far apart they seem. However, many also remind us to keep a cool head. They emphasize that Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are real people, not characters in a fictional story. Whatever happened between them, if anything, is a personal matter worthy of respect. At this point, the line between support and obsession becomes incredibly thin. Interestingly, this legend demonstrates the power of narrative in fandom culture. A story can become bigger than the facts themselves, feeding off the collective emotions of millions. True or not, the story of this marriage has united fans from different countries and languages. It has become a modern myth that continues to be retold. There are moments when this rumor dies down, seemingly drowned out by new news. But it doesn't take long for it to resurface, stronger and more detailed. Each generation of fans seems to add their own version. That's how legends work, always evolving. If we ask whether this rumor is true, the answer may not be a simple yes or no. Truth in fandom is often emotional, not factual. What fans feel can be as real as what can be proven. And therein lies the power of the story. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan remain two superstars with their own paths. They speak through their work, not through lengthy explanations. This attitude, whether intentional or not, allows imagination to thrive. Their silence becomes a blank canvas for 1,000 interpretations. For some, this story is a story of hope about love that endures amidst pressure. For others, it's simply entertainment, a beautiful story to be enjoyed without having to fully believe. There's no right or wrong way to interpret it. Each fan brings their own emotional background. Beneath all the theories and speculation, there's one thing rarely discussed: how this story reflects fans' need for meaning and connection. In a fast-paced world, stories of deep bonds, whatever their form, provide a sense of warmth and hope. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, consciously or not, have become mirrors for that collective emotion. Every small detail then feels symbolic. The song playing at a certain time, the coincidental proximity of a photo shoot location, and even the subtle yet poetic choice of words. For fans, these details aren't mere coincidences, but rather pieces of a puzzle waiting to be put together. And when the pieces come together, a narrative that feels complete is born. However, there's also a quiet side to this legend, a space where imagination should stop and empathy begins. There, we're reminded that behind the spotlight, there are human beings with limits and choices. Glorifying the story shouldn't take away their right to privacy. It's precisely that respect that keeps the story beautiful. Interestingly, this story also shows how art and reality intertwine. The roles they play on screen leave a lasting impression that transcends fiction. The lines between character and actor blur, creating an emotional resonance that's hard to shake. At this point, the story no longer belongs on the stage, but in the hearts of the audience. Over time, this legend will likely change shape. New generations will find new meanings, reinterpreting old symbols with different perspectives. That's the natural cycle of a great story. It never truly ends, it simply changes its storytellers. And each teller adds nuances that keep it alive. Ultimately, whether you choose to believe, doubt, or simply enjoy the story, one thing is certain. This story has brought many people together in one long conversation. Amidst the noise and silence, between fact and feeling, the legend of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan continues to pulsate. And perhaps that is its true essence, not a definitive answer, but rather the emotional journey we share. What is clear is that the legend of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan has left a deep mark on fandom history. It proves that human relationships, real or symbolic, can stir emotions on an extraordinary scale. This is why this story never truly dies. Perhaps one day, the truth will be revealed in its own way. Or perhaps never, and this story will forever live as a legend. But that is precisely its beauty, the space between fact and imagination. A gray area that continues to invite curiosity. On the Drama CD channel, we don't force answers. We invite you to feel, reflect, and judge with your heart and logic. Is this a hidden love story, or the greatest legend ever created by fans? The answer is now in your hands, and perhaps in your own heart.